Today we are going to install a ceiling made of plastic panels in the hallway. The lights will be recessed LED. So let's get started. Here's what the ceiling looks like. The wallpaper on the walls has already been put up. The ceiling has simply been cleaned of the old whitewash. There's nothing on it. It's a concrete slab. All the holes have been filled with putty bombed, so there are no drafts anywhere. First of all, you need to mark a horizontal line along the entire perimeter of the wall, which we have already done. It's important to keep it level, because if you make a 5 mm mistake in one corner, it could end up being 3 cm off at the other end. There will be 3 light fixtures installed on the ceiling here. The wiring comes from the existing electrical line to which the light bulb is connected. First, using a tape measure, we measure the distance from one wall to the other, along the longest part. Here I have about 3.4 meters. That should be enough profile. We have a 4 meter UD profile. So it's 3 meters and 20 centimeters. You need to cut it 5 millimeters shorter, so that the two profiles can be joined together without any issues. We transfer the dimensions to the broach. We cut the UD profile using metal shears. First the side ribs, then the back. We take a rotary hammer heated with a drill bit. That's 6 millimeters in diameter and 45 millimeters long, and we'll drill directly through the UD profile into the wall. We insert a plastic wall plug, and using a metal anchor nail, we secure it in place. And we continue like this, spacing them 60 to 70 centimeters apart. If your wall is made of gypsum, you can use regular wood screws instead of wall plugs. They will go in tightly and secure the UD profile. The screw fits tightly. That means everything will hold well. The wall is a bit uneven. It has a concavity, so the profile bends slightly, but it's not critical. And now we measure the dimensions of the third wall. 136 centimeters. Here, the UD profile is fixed to the wall. Now it is necessary to insert the CD profile into it along the entire length, perpendicular to the plastic panels, which will be installed across. The UD profile is screwed in. There are no level differences in the corners. It follows the wall exactly. I will have 2 CD profiles, installed spaced 40 centimeters apart from each other. They should not interfere with the light fixtures that will be recessed above, or with other utilities. Here as well, first cut off the side ribs, and then the back part. After that, insert the UD profile into the CD profile, from both sides along the length of the room. It should fit tightly. This will make the structure more rigid. After that, it is necessary to position the CD profiles so that they do not interfere with the installation of the light fixture. To do this, measure the supporting part of the light fixture. In my case, it's 6 centimeters from edge to edge, and step back by this radius from the marked spot on the ceiling. Here on the ceiling is the marked spot for mounting the light fixture. Step 4 centimeters away from it to the side and mark the attachment point for the CD profile. Now measure the distance from the wall to the CD profile. And this distance should be the same along the entire length of the room. Here I have 38.5. Measure this same distance from the corner to the edge on both sides of the ceiling. Now it is necessary to secure the CD profiles using the ES profile. To do this, we mark points 1 meter apart, drill into the ceiling, and attach the CD profile to the ES profile. On the CD profile, we make marks at the points where the ES profile will be attached. And so on. We mark the attachment point O for the ES profile on the ceiling. After that, move the CD profile aside and drill a hole in the ceiling for attaching the ES profile. And attach the ES profile to the ceiling. And we bend, just one edge for now. Now using small screws, self-tapping screws, flea nuts, and a screwdriver, we screw the UD profile to the CD profile at the corners. On both sides. I drill in 2 spots so that the connection between the UD and CD profiles is stronger. After that, we bend the tabs of the ES profile. We take a level and a regular pencil. Using the level, we find the exact horizontal line of the CD profile and make marks on the ES profile for its fastening. And we drill in from the side with a blochka. Then we check the level along the plane of the profile and also make a mark on the second tab of the ES profile. And we fasten it with a flea on the other side. Next step, we run the wiring from this light fixture to the other 3 that will be on the ceiling. To secure the wire to the ceiling, you can make small fasteners using a plastic bottle if you don't have standard store-bought ones. Using a sharp knife, cut strips about 5 centimeters long and 1.5 centimeters wide. You should end up with a neat little fastener like this. And we drill the fastener for the wires into the ceiling. Here the fastener is attached. After that, you need to secure the starter plastic profile onto the UD profile and cut it with the same metal shears. First the front profile, then the back one. Bend and cut it, then fasten it to the profile with self-tapping screws at intervals of 30 centimeters, pressing it tightly against the wall so there is no gap between the plastic and the wall. Now, the plastic starter profile is screwed in place, and you can start installing the plastic panels. Here I have 139 centimeters, so we make it 138.5. insert the first strip into the plastic profile. It should fit snugly without any gaps or spaces. There you go, the first strip is inserted into the starter plastic profile. Now, using a square, you need to check the exact perpendicularity of the supporting profiles and the plastic to make sure there is no bending to the left or right. Check the same thing along the wall to ensure there are no distortions. If everything is fine, you can screw it in. Carefully screw it in with self-tapping screws, trying not to damage the plastic. Use one screw on each profile. And so we continue further. Now it's time to install the light fixtures. To make a proper circle, take a suitable dish or cup with the right diameter. Mine is 6 centimeters, and start tracing around it. Measure the distance from each wall to the center. Here, and from there, draw the circle. Now, take a sharp utility knife, or use a jigsaw and cut out the opening. The circle doesn't come out with very smooth edges, but it won't be visible because the light fixture is large and will cover these uneven edges. Now we pull the wire out from under the ceiling and connect the light fixture. Just like this. We've already installed 2 fixtures and there's one left. The lighting is very bright and good. We did remove the voltage indicator from the switch for the LED fixtures because the lights would glow faintly from a small current. Now it's time to install the last strip. This is the hardest part of the whole process because you have to get the size exactly right. Not too big, not too small, so that everything fits perfectly. I cut it strictly following the wall profile. Here on one side it measures 24.5 and on the other 20.5, so there's a 4 centimeter difference. The width is chosen to be about half the width of the panel's starter profile, so that it fits in and there's no gap left here. Then the lock will snap shut. That happens when we slide the entire panel into the starter profile. We start from the corner and gradually move to the right. Then at the very end, you'll also need to slide it in there behind the profile. For easier installation, you can use a regular wide putty knife, which will make the work much simpler. To slide in the last strip of plastic, you'll need some detergent and rubber gloves because the locks are often tight, so you can't just push it in by hand. It slips on the plastic. So let's begin. Take a small brush and use the detergent to coat the surface. Seam. And after that, you can try to close the lock. With short taps, we try to close the lock. There, the plastic is in place. Now we wipe off the cleaning agent and the job will be finished. There are no gaps around the perimeter. 3 lights have been installed. It will be very bright and nice, almost like a stretch ceiling. You have just watched a video on how to make a ceiling from plastic panels in the hallway of an apartment building with your own hands. Leave your remarks and comments, like the video, subscribe to our channel, stay with us. Goodbye everyone.